Okay, boys and girls, this is Math Message 1-13, and in this lesson today, we're going to solve problems with mass. Now, before we get started, let's go over a couple of vocabulary words, okay? The word mass, that is the measure of the amount of matter in an object. Now, the word weight is the measure of how heavy an object is. Honestly, these two words, these two definitions are very, very similar, and a lot of times you're going to hear me refer to something as what is the mass of something, and I might use the word what is the weight of something. These two words are very, very similar. There are slight differences, but for our purposes, mass and weight are very, very close to the same thing. A pan balance is a tool used to measure the amount of matter in an object. I spelled the word measure wrong down here. I'll have to fix that. All right, so a pan balance is that tool that we're going to use to measure the mass. Now, a couple of other words that we're going to really look at today in today's lesson is grams and kilograms. These are units of measurement that we use when measuring the mass of an object. So when we're measuring the mass or how heavy something is, you might hear me say that it is 20 grams or that it is 200 grams or it is 2 kilograms. Those are units of measurement for measuring mass. Now, yesterday we looked at a pan balance and we looked at how to use a pan balance. Now, if we were to put a paper clip in a pan balance, and then I were to put in one of these weights up here into my pan balance to get it to equal out or to balance out, it would take about a 1 gram weight to equal out or to balance with a paper clip. Okay, so a paper clip is about 1 gram. And I need you to really remember that, because if I say to you that something weighs 20 grams, I need you to know about what that feels like. So you would think, oh, well, I know that 1 gram is about a paper clip, so if it's 20 grams, it's about 20 paper clips. And that'll just kind of give you a reference of about how much something weighs. Now, for a kilogram, if I were to put in a 1 liter bottle of water into my balance scale, it would take the 1 kilogram weight. Now that's that real big heavy one that we looked at in class, and it's the one that, you know, is kind of like real heavy, and if you dropped it, it was going to hurt your toe, right? It's one that I said was kind of like the weight of a soup can. Okay, so our 1 kilogram weight is like a soup can or a 1 liter bottle of water. Now, I also need you to understand that 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. So it would take, whoops, let me put my marker back in here so I'm not marking up my board. It would take 1,000 of these little gram weights to equal 1 kilogram. Okay, and so that 1 kilogram is about a 1 liter bottle of water. Now, I'll have a 1 liter bottle of water in class so that you can feel that and compare that to a kilogram. So now what I need you to do is you're going to turn in your workbook to page 28, and I also need you to go and gather some items around your house, okay? Maybe gather the remote control, or a deck of cards, or a marker, maybe a marble, smaller things that would actually fit inside of our pan balance at school. I want you to gather a few of those objects. Go ahead and pause the video, and then come back when you're ready. Okay, so what you're going to do with those objects, you're going to kind of feel those objects, and you're going to determine if those objects are about 1 gram. Now we remember 1 gram is like that paper clip. So you're going to feel some objects and try to find some objects that are about 1 gram. Okay, so if you didn't gather any of these, try to gather some objects that are about 1 gram. Okay, and then I want you to find some objects that are more than a gram but less than a kilogram. Okay, so more than a paper clip, but less than a bottle of water. And then some objects that weigh about 1 kilogram. And make a list of objects here. So give me some objects that you think would weigh about 1 gram. Some objects that you think would weigh more than a gram but less than a kilogram. And some objects that you think weigh about a kilogram. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and kind of fill out this graphic organizer, this chart. All right, number 2 is going to be hard for you to do at home because you don't have a pan balance probably at home, and you probably don't have standard masses at home to be able to do this. So if you're doing this lesson from home, we'll try to get you caught up here at school and give you the opportunity to work with our pan balance here at school. What I really want you to start developing is some benchmark objects, okay? So, for example, if I have a deck of cards and I put a deck of cards into my pan balance and I start putting in weights so that it balances out, okay? Maybe I put in a 50-gram weight and that didn't balance it out. And then I put in a 25-gram weight and that didn't balance it out. And then I put in another 25-gram weight, and now it about balanced out, okay? This is about equal. So now I know that my deck of cards weighs 50 plus 25 plus 25, so when I add that together, that equals 100 grams, okay? So now I know that my deck of cards weighs 100 grams. Now I can use that deck of cards as a benchmark weight. So maybe I pick up another object. Maybe I pick up my remote control for my overhead projector. And I pick up my deck of cards. If I know that my deck of cards is about the same as my remote control, then I can say, oh, my remote control weighs about 100 grams. Okay, maybe I pick up my tape dispenser that I have, that big black heavy tape dispenser on my desk. And I pick that up and I pick up my deck of cards. And I say, okay, my deck of cards weighs 100 grams. My tape dispenser is heavier than that. So I think maybe my tape dispenser might weigh about 150 grams. Okay, so I want us to start developing some benchmark weights. So in class, we'll be measuring some objects that we have in our classroom so that we really know what the actual weight or mass of that object is, and then we'll start using those as benchmarks. All right, so now let's look at number stories on page, I always forget what page this is, page 29. Now, it says that we're going to use measurements from our student reference book on page 271. Now, I know if you're in Mrs. Rowland's room, she's really good at teaching you how to get online and finding that student reference book. We haven't really done that a whole lot in my room yet this year. If you don't know how to find the student reference book, I am going to kind of give you the page right here, okay? So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here. If you know how to get on the student reference book, do that. If not, just I'll give you the reference page here and get your workbook ready on page 29. Pause the video, get yourself ready. Okay, so here we go. On this, it says that one soccer ball has a mass of about blank grams. Now, when we go to that student reference book, or I even Googled it to find out, but a soccer ball has a mass of about 425 grams. So if I go ahead and put that in there, so that's the mass of one soccer ball. So if Dylan carries 2 soccer balls outside for gym class, what is the mass of 2 soccer balls together? Pause the video and figure that out. All right, so if he has 2 soccer balls, all right, I have 2 times 425, or I just add 425 together, 2 times, and I should get 850 grams. All right, the next one, it says one golf ball has a mass of about blank grams. Okay, again, before I realized this was in our student reference book, I just Googled it. But here's our student reference book, and here's our golf ball, and it's about 43 grams. So if I put 43 grams in there, it says Keisha can juggle 3 golf balls. If she drops 1 golf ball, what is the mass of the remaining golf balls? Go ahead and figure out this problem. Pause the video, and then you can restart to check your work. All right, it says if she juggles 3 golf balls, each of those golf balls are 43 grams, but it says that she drops 1 of the golf balls. What is the mass of the remaining golf balls? So you just needed to add these 2 golf balls together, 43 plus 43, and you should have come up with 86 grams. And then number 3, they wanted you to make up your own number story using the sports ball masses. And then if you were in class, we could trade papers with a partner to solve each other's problems. I will go ahead and leave you with this page here so that you can see these masses. You can pause the video and go ahead and come up with a problem on your own. And then boys and girls, that is it for lesson 1-13.